Hey everyone, Will here. Down in the home office, getting ready to do some eBay stuff. I was thinking though, I haven't done a what sold video in quite a while, and I've had some pretty interesting sales over the past few months. So let's go through a few of the things I picked out. These are the more expensive items. To me, always the more expensive items are the more interesting items. I wish I had more interesting items. But now let's go over a few things. First up is this military medical instrument lot. And I blew this out. I did a 60% off sale for a while last year. Just had a lot of stale inventory and thought it's time to move it along, so I did 60% off. This lot, for instance, I had listed for since November of 2017, so it sold. Actually, I took an offer. It didn't sell for $680. I took an offer of $550 on it. Not the greatest of purchases. I think I paid like $250 for this, and to have it sit around for that long, it's a lot longer than I'm really comfortable with having stuff sit around, but still made it a good profit on it. French helmet, really love this piece. Was tempted to keep it for myself. Can't keep everything though. 1800s French cavalry dragoon helmet with a horsehair plume. Picked this up for $40 at the flea market. Really amazed sometimes the things you can find. Think of the history of this piece, where it's been, who's had it. But that sold for $288. A vintage Chinese pinup. Bought that for $50. Sold it for $240. And it went. The person paid a lot of shipping on this. It went through eBay Global Shipping. But I'll probably never find another one like this. It's pretty rare. The Santa and Four Reindeer vintage lawn decorations. These are really cool. Really well made. And another thing, you just can't find this stuff from like the 1940s, 1950s. Person out in San Francisco bought these. Shipping wasn't too bad. I was able to use my styrofoam board method to ship it. Basically, put it in, sandwiched everything between a couple boards of styrofoam, insulating board, and I think shipping was still around 120 or so, but that's really not too bad considering the size of the package, and going all the way across the country from Baltimore to San Francisco. That was paid $100 for that set. It wasn't cheap, but still sold for $425. Not too bad. Interesting piece. I kept this out for a long time. Bought it long time ago. I think I paid like $20 for this or something like that. It just sold for $250. We listed it back in November. Not too bad. Interestingly, it's a 1876 Democratic Conservative ticket for Tilden. Tilden was the first president to win the popular vote but lose the election. Interesting piece. I really love this clock. I was so tempted to keep it and get it running again, but I got this piece. It was a group deal. I got this and a really neat brass ship's porthole, and paid $140 for the porthole in this clock. I turned around and sold the porthole the next day at the flea market and got $140 just for that. This was however you want to look at it. Got all my money back on the brass porthole cover. This sold for $199, and it was extremely hard to pack. It's got plaster and glass, and not to mention it was already over 100 years old. But we got it there in one piece, and the people were very happy with it. A shotgun barrel. Love buying gun stuff, gun military stuff. It always sells. This Hastings shotgun barrel still had the original box with it. Paid $30 for that back in September, and it sold in December for $179. A black and white waterfall photo of Yosemite. Paid $30 for this, and it sold for $150. Held my breath on this one. You know, you can pack the stuff as best as you can, but if the delivery service like FedEx or Post Office, if they mistreat the package, it will break. You can only protect it so much. But this one went through good. Very happy with it. I wish I would have done a little more research on it, but I'm happy with the profit, and the buyer's very happy with the item. I went back to California. Garfield train set, still new in the box. Well, not new in the box. It was still had the original box and packing. This was a $30 purchase. It sold for $100. Aluminum Christmas tree, bought that for $15 and sold for $135. Still have another one. It was bought two at the same time. Recent purchase, just bought this last week. Interesting story behind this one. It's an inflatable head form shaper for caps. Sold for, I paid $5 for this. It sold for $134.50. Interesting. The guy that had to bid for most of the time, he said he sent me a message not long after the listing ended, and he said, "Look, I've had to bid on this thing for most of the time. I've been watching it, and I missed out in the final seconds to put my bid in." He said, "I'll give you $200 for this." And I haven't replied to him yet. It came through yesterday, but I'm not gonna. As much as I would like to sell it to him for $200, this person is already paid, and it's not good business practice to not go through with the deal. But God knows I'd love to find some more of these, and it's really not much to it. I mean, it's a little inflator there, goes up to this little rubber thing that inflates and forms and shapes the hat. I mean, if somebody could make some more of these, they really should, because there's a demand out there, definitely. I had a ton of watchers, and Oh, we got 18 bids on this thing. Probably never see another one of those. A brass 6-spoke 12-inch ship's wheel. I think it's a ship's wheel. Who knows? Could be a like a valve wheel. Not really sure. Went out to Hawaii. I assume it's going on back on a boat or decoration or something along those lines. Paid $25 for that. Sold for $125. This was a really good deal. I bought back in May. I bought a huge lot of these. They're ventilator hoses for patients hooked up to ventilation, breathing ventilators. All new in a pack. I paid $20 for the entire lot, and I've been selling these things for $20 a piece. This person bought 5 of them in one shot. I must have got like 50 of them. So got 50 of them for $20. You know you're doing good when you sell one item out of a huge lot and it pays for the entire lot. So I'm going to end up making, they're not all worth $20. So I'm still going to make about $800 off of a $20 purchase. SKS rifle magazine. It helps to know gun stuff. I don't think anybody else knew what these were. Bought like 6 of these and got them for like 6 of them for like $25. And I've sold the 10 rounders for as much as $75, like this one. Had one that was a 20 rounder that sold for over $100. Very happy with that purchase. Gun stuff and military always does well. Last item to show you. This was out of my personal collection. It's a World War II Vickers machine gun tripod. Of course, being eBay, I can't put machine gun in the title. Otherwise, they would have kicked it right out. Bought this from... Oh, God. Bought this 20 years ago. I think I got it from this place called Sarco. I was still dating my wife at the time. And I had it sent to my parents' house. And we were driving around. My parents called and said, "Oh, you got a package here." I said, "Oh, it must be my tripod." And I told my my wife, the girlfriend, at the time, "I'm going to swing by my parents and pick up my tripod. I just got it in the mail." So she's waiting in the car, and out I come with this huge box. It must have weighed like 50 pounds. She's like, "What kind of camera tripod is that?" I said, "It's not for a camera." That was her chance right there to run away, but she stayed. But yeah, it's probably one of those things later on I'm going to regret selling. But it was taking up a lot of time, a lot of space. I wasn't using it. When I got it, it was just covered in olive drab paint, and stripped it all down to the bare brass. It's all solid brass except for the legs. But really cool piece, and the guy's really happy with it too. Didn't sell for $1,800. Took an offer of $16 on it. Not bad considering I paid 20 years ago. I probably paid about $150 for it. So there we go. I think I'll do another one of the jewelry from my jewelry store. This was all from my Terminal99 store. So keep watching, and I'll see if I can get that up within the next day or two. So till next time, Miss Williard Sales Fabulist. We'll talk again soon.